Now, I was banned for a week. Uh, it's a total joke, though. Medical misinformation, but encouraging you to get vaccinated, all that constitutes violating COVID misinformation policy. This happened on the same day that the Super League was announced. It's a fucking disgrace. It's a fucking farce. It's a fucking joke. I did not become a Juventus supporter to aspire to win a closed shop. I became a Juventus fan to see them win the Champions League, not the UEFA Super League, not a closed shop from three countries. No. I became a Juventus fan to see them beat all the big elite clubs across Europe. Ajax, Lyon, you know, Rangers, Celtic, Olympiacos, many, many big clubs across Europe. I have come to see them win the European Cup, the Champions League, not a closed shop. It stands for green. This is the European Cup. This is the Champions League. This game belongs to the fans. It belongs to the fans, and it doesn't belong to the billionaires. We need to keep this game for the fans across Europe. We, as corrupt as UEFA is, trying to bring in more of that revenue ever since they destroyed the European Cup a few decades ago. UEFA is a lesson of two evils, and although the game is expanding, it's been commercialized. UEFA's model as monopolizing as it is, it's still the best of two evils. You still keep the Champions League. You still see the best clubs all across Europe in the Champions League. To see the likes of the small money clubs out there competing with the big clubs, seeing Atalanta, seeing small clubs play good football in the Champions League is all about the sporting integrity that you earn your spot amongst the elite in the table. You, regardless of what you finish, AC Milan hasn't been to the Champions League in 13 years, and now they want their spot guaranteed every single year, regardless of how they perform. Arsenal haven't been to the Champions League since 2016, 2017. They're in ninth place, but they want a guaranteed spot in the Champions League. All this is monopoly of the owners to guarantee themselves bigger profits every single year. The game belongs to the fans of European football. A Super League stands to take games away from the fans, the clubs that belong to the fans, and seeing them watch games in Asia, in America, and across the world, because the Glazers have fans all across Asia. Manchester United fans are all across Asia. The Glazers are in massive debt. This whole thing was fueled by Florentino Perez. He can't get any government loans to pay all these superstar deals in Barcelona too, that this remains a move to get Spanish clubs out of debt. The coronavirus and the subsidization of Ronaldo's wages from fiat has really hurt Juventus. It's never enough to just focus on the footballing aspect. Juventus has acted more as a commercialized franchise than an actual football club ever since they got Cristiano Ronaldo. That it's all about making more and more and more money. It doesn't matter if the Champions League is here to stay. It doesn't matter if we keep decades-long tradition. It's all about making more and more and more money. That's what it's all about. And we see the suffering of the performances on the pitch, that these guys are just caring about commercialization, Instagram followers. They're caring more about that than what happens on the pitch. So the whole thing is a disgrace. Stan Kroenke wants guaranteed profits. Tottenham greed their new stadium and all that. They're in this Super League and finishing in seventh place. Tottenham are just looking to get a monopoly too. I mean, and Liverpool, it was a big hatchet plan on the top of Florentino Perez and Agnelli to get some greedy Americans to jump aboard, to get J.P. Morgan involved, the American Glazers, the American Henry of Liverpool, American Kroenke, British capitalists. They live in the Bahamas, I think. Joe Louis. So it's all about Americanized greed. It's about Liverpool and Arsenal and Tottenham about to miss European football. It's Juventus hanging around fourth place. Oh my God. They may not make the Champions League next year. Not once did they consider what the fans and the managers and what the players thought about it. Not once. Not once have they considered what we thought about it. And that was no doubt what the spin was. That this is about to get our clubs more money to compete with the English Premier League. But not all football fans agreed with these lustful owners. And they're not the only ones that have lost money during COVID. Have some goddamn sense of perspective, billionaires. We, the people of the world, have lost more from the coronavirus than you, greedy, lustful billionaires. That is how out of touch they are. It's about us. It's about us. It's about what we're losing. And so, not all Juventinos are part of this Super League, this closed shop of it. Three countries. None from Portugal, teams that have won the Champions League. None from Netherlands, no Ajax, right? None of them at all. It was a closed shop from only 3 out of how many countries in Europe, right? Put that in the perspective. Agnelli's from Goal.com. Agnelli's humiliation was complete. Has refused to apologize, though. Tellingly, the statement Juve released on the Super League's collapse didn't even reference the club's fans, some of whom had hung a banner outside their stadium reading, "Our history must not be tarnished, bartered, or commercialized. We are Juventus FC. No to the Super League. Shame on you." This is what the real fans of this club believe about the Super League. Rip Juventus FC. When they got rid of this logo, that's for sure, everything started to change. They started to care more about Asian fans. They started to care more about American fans. You see, this hatchet plan was about the Crunkies and the Henrys and all these Liverpool fans in Massachusetts and Connecticut, all these Italian supporters in New York and New Jersey. It's for Juventus to play at the Giants Jet Stadium. It's Stan Kroenke playing European Super League in the Rams Stadium. It's about Tottenham and their American supporters playing matches in America. It's Manchester United playing in Shanghai. Juventus play in Tokyo, and PSG are not the good guys out of all of this. PSG, Qatar Sports Investments, has a contract with BN Sports to broadcast the matches, and so after the World Cup, after the BN Sports contract expires, and maybe PSG will be interested in the Super League. The reason why PSG opposed this is because of their TV deal with the Champions League. So as far as PSG is, it's all about the money to these guys too. And let's see, I saw something else from the Juventus supporters. Curva Sword put out a statement too. I think the English-speaking media has done a terrible job of telling us what the reaction was from Spain and from Italy. I can tell you that La Liga was not happy about this. Serie A was not happy about this. They thought that it would completely destroy their league. And so another statement put out by the Juventus ultras that are against this hatchet plan that opposed it from the beginning. Juventus Curva Sud has expressed their disapproval and hate modern football forever. Chini, the leader of Juventus Ultra Group Vikings, told and Kronos, whoever loves football and has followed the team under the rain and the snow at home and away can't like the Super League. Maybe more and more fan groups would have showed up if it weren't for the ban of ultras. When did this ban begin? Italian police 2019 arrested 12 leading Juventino ultras as part of an investigation to violence and extortion linked to match ticket sales, getting preferential treatment in regards to how much they have to pay for tickets. Inter's Curva Nord also disapproved of the Super League. Renato Bossetti, one of its founding members, football isn't about Super Leagues, it's about the people. Otherwise, we'll be following in the footsteps of the NBA and their rubbish. So instead of being football clubs who earn their spots on merit, these are merely commercialized sports franchises that play in the league every single year, regardless of merit. These teams are not football clubs. These teams are brands. These teams are brands that deserve to make millions and billions of dollars every year, regardless of how they perform on the pitch. The whole thing is a big travesty. It's a big farce. These are franchises. These are not football clubs bound by tradition. These are franchises. These are clubs that are trying to brand itself all throughout the world. The billionaires can never have enough. Milan Ultras are claiming that UEFA is the worst is the less of two evils. That isn't the Premier League a closed shop? Get rid of the Football League and you start our own league. And the Premier League was founded on a similar principle, but they did not get rid of the essence of sport, of earning your spot. And they did not create a closed shop to play matches in America, in Asia. These are some stark differences, but it's worth noting that you get rid of the Champions League, you get rid of the European Cup, and you have 2, 3rd, 4th place, 70 points, 69 points. Fourth place team compete in the Champions League. I mean, that's pretty much, this is where we've been heading ever since the Champions League was founded and the European Cup was dissolved. Here's what the Milan Ultras Group Curva Sud said in their statement. Honestly, it makes us laugh to see all these people in the control room of football suddenly claim we fans are first and foremost. The Super League is just the latest in a long line of innumerable maneuvers over decades has made football into a business. The birth of this new competition would certainly be another shove to the football of old, which by now a distant memory will inevitably obscure the tradition of the various national leagues robbing football of the undeniable principle of sporting meritocracy. But the thing that most leaves us indignant is the hypocrisy of all those who contributed to making this sport nothing but a business. Those who today stand up in name of the fans, but only because they saw their remunerative and seemingly belong to the people until the 1990s when the Champions League was born, destroying the old European Cup. From that moment, an unbridgeable chasm has been created between the big in small clubs. Football did belong to the people, even when nobody lifted a finger to stop the increase of ticket prices that it was imposed by some presidents. Football did belong to the people, even when nobody stepped in to stop the rise of the super agents who took player salaries to even more astronomical figures who could only be sustained with TV rights. The same TV companies that impose increasingly chaotic fisticuffs with games on improbable days and kickoff times. Football did belong to the people, even when rules were imposed to stop any rapport between the players and the fans. Football did belong to the people, even when Super Copa finals were played on other continents. On the dates of some games were changed a few days before kickoff, damaging those fans who booked trains or planes to get to the stadium. Football did belong to the people, even when some fans were allowed to circumvent. Some clubs were allowed to circumvent financial fair play, while others with less influential presidents were penalized. Like Milan, for example, from the Europa. Football did belong to the people, even when the World Cup was forced to Qatar in 22, despite moving the entire calendar in this regard and human rights violations, keeping people trapped into the country, holding onto their passport. Continuing on with the statement of the Milan Ultras, we could list numerous other examples to show the absolute hypocrisy of the words we're hearing from the football chiefs over the last 48 hours. The Super League is just the latest disgusting step, but those who took football to this point are no less grotesque, so save us these ludicrous performances of rhetoric and morality. Now that the money is running out, feel free to fight it out between yourselves, but don't you dare name the fans. Pigs! Snakes! All of them! I thought Inter was the serpent, but Agnelli betrayed Seraphi. He says we're gonna expand the Champions League. We're gonna reform the Champions League. Okay, isn't Agnelli the godfather of one of his children, right? This is the absolute betrayal. I thought this is the thing that snakes do, that Inter Milan does, that they orchestrate Calciopoli to punish the other clubs, but Agnelli sure proves himself to be a snake in all this ordeal. Will Agnelli go? Exor president John Elkann, married to one of the Agnellis, his wife. He was born to French and Italian Jews. He's the guy that runs the portfolio of the Agnelli family. Certainly not Andrea. He's the president of Exor, the holding company that owns Juventus. Is John Elkann can remove Agnelli, or did John Elkann, was he open to this project? Or if this attempt was botched by Andrea Agnelli, is he going to pay the price from his cousin, John Elkann? There's something to look out for if he's going to remain the president. As far as Florentino Perez goes, as far as everybody else goes, they're still going to remain there. I don't get the sense that Dan Levy's going to leave. Every single move on the part of Tottenham is going to be influenced by money. Liverpool, it's all about the money. Man United, it's about the debt. It's about the fans and other countries. Liverpool care about its Indian supporters. They have a lot of Indian supporters. Asian supporters, Chinese owner. He may not have the equity. He has to sell the club. The whole thing is a disgrace. I'm glad it failed. Are these clubs ever going to get punished and banned from the Champions League? Yeah, right. But what possible sanction shall we have for these clubs who tried to organize the breakaway? More to come in the next recording about that very idea.